Welcome to For Real Watchers Radio Show, worldwide live, with the best experts as guests. And with your hosts, Jerry Dean and Brett Warner. Expect bone-chilling and heart-pounding stories of paranormal, ufology, supernatural stories, and breathtaking encounter after encounter. Join us as we dive into the abyss of the unknown. Every Friday night, 8 p.m. Central and 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on the best paranormal network, Paranormal King Network. Dead between your eyes, pulling no punches. We'll see you on the other side. Be prepared for anything. Weak hearts dare not enter. Hello, everybody. We are back for Real Watchers Radio right here live on the Paranormal King Network every Friday night, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. I am your host, Brett.
And I'm your other host, Jerry Dean, and we've got a pretty good show for you tonight. We have an amazing lady with some amazing gifts. Brett, you want to tell them who we've got tonight, partner?
Absolutely. Somebody hailing from the great state of Texas. That's one of yours down there, Jerry, isn't it?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. We got an empath, actually. Somebody speaks with spirits, paranormal group investigator, somebody really high up in discerning spirits, and we'll get more information about that. But we have the one and only Debbie Schreiner on the line. Debbie, you there?
Yes. How are y'all?
Doing great, doing great. How are you this Friday?
I'm doing really well.
Good to hear it. Good to hear it. How's so you're living in Texas now then, right? That's where you're.
Yes. I'm in Texas.
I was looking at your your Facebook page. You're not from there though. You're Louisiana, are you?
Yes. Yes. From
right.
Louisiana.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a bunch of people listening tonight and in the chat and that. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself. I talked to you for a little while. I know you've got quite some stories going on. You do a little bit of everything, don't you?
Yes, sir, I do. I pretty much can speak with the spirits. They give me information. I feel them. Sometimes I see them when they want me to see them. Other times, I can just feel them, and just excuse me, y'all. But anyway, I pretty much can. I feel other people's feelings. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm nervous. Excuse me.
Oh, you're nervous. It's only 2.9 million people out there. It's okay.
Yes.
Hey, Brett.
I pretty much.
What's that?
Tell her to hold my beer.
Oh, no. But, I just pretty much, just deal with the spirits. I try to help them, or I try to help the person that has lost a loved one. And, pretty much the spirits come to me when they need help. And I try to help them as much as I can. And if they need to be crossed over or see the light, I have a couple of friends that we do this. We will help them cross over.
So, we hear it a lot in the show. I mean, how people got into this. Is this a gift you noticed when you were young, or, I mean, what started all of this?
When I was 3 years old, I don't know what it was. I just felt that I was different from everybody else. And as I got older, I started seeing things and feeling things, and I never would talk to anybody about it. That's just, I just kind of kept it to myself. And, until I got a lot older, then I started communicating with them. And, I had to learn. I had to learn to protect myself, ground myself, do whatever I had to do to keep the bad ones away from me.
Now, do you just talk to them like you and me are doing now, or use any kind of conduit, Ouija boards, seances, anything like that?
No. I talk to them just like me and you are talking. That is how I communicate with them.
Okay. You said
yeah.
and they come to you, huh? They know who you are.
Yes, and usually I don't even have to do that. They just, they pretty much come to me anyway. I don't have to do anything.
Gotcha.
I mean, this is pretty much an everyday thing for me, and I just deal with it as the best way I can.
Jerry, what you got? I heard you almost cut in there. What's going on?
Oh, wow.
Sorry, Jerry. Sorry about that, Jerry.
You're fine. Not a problem. No, I was going to ask you, I mean, as far as with your group, y'all been, not group, but your friends, I mean, so y'all get phone calls from people? Do you do investigations where, spirits are involved? Have you anything to that nature, or are you just counseling people, over the phone or in person?
We usually get phone calls from other people, or some of our friends that need help, and we go and investigate, and then we do what we can to help the spirit. And if we can't, then we just go on. And but yeah, it's usually from other people calling us.
Okay, so I'll call you right now. Let's role play. Bring, phone rings. Hey, okay, you got to answer though. Say hello. Yes. You do answer your phone with hello. So you just answer. Yes. It's you again, Jerry. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so you answer the phone. I'm like, I have a spiritual investigation I need taken care of. I'm having different movements and different activity in my house. How do you go about it? What's your protocol on this? How do you go about arranging a meeting with them to set up the interview, or do you a pre-interview? I mean, how do you do yours? We know how a lot of other people do theirs, but everybody's pretty different. Yeah. How do you go about it?
Yeah, we just, like you said, Jerry, we kind of ask what is going on in the house and who they may think it may be, or what is it done to you, or what's going on in the house. And then that's when we go in personally and we ask to talk to that spirit that is in that house. Mm-hmm. And then they come to us. If they don't, they don't. But a lot of times they will come to us, and then we will ask them, why are you here? What do you need from us? And then we start getting information. They will let us know. They'll give us dates, they'll give us times, and they'll give us what happened to them. And we usually don't ask that. We don't ask any questions. We let them communicate with us. And that's how we get our information.
I know in many of our shows before, when you start doing that, there's always the possibility that these aren't spirits. There could be something deeper and darker, along the lines of demonic activity. Have you ever run into that before, or how do you discern that? Just by what they say? Or?
Oh, my goodness. We have run into that several times. We have had them come in, pretending to be another spirit or entity, whatever they were. And then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. And then we do have to call in on Spirit and God and Jesus and the angels, Archangel Michael. We call in all of this for them to take this entity away, whatever darkness there is. Because we don't deal with that.
Then again, though, this could be a bad spirit, though. Right?
Yes, this is, yeah. Oh, yes.
Which I guess you could call a demon, or, however you want to put that. So basically, you just expel them the best you can through the power of prayer and the Lord, pretty much, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's good stuff. Going down that line a little further, I mean, how long have you been doing this? You said you got it at 3, but, I mean, as far as getting up houses and actually helping people, I mean, it's been a while?
After my son passed away in 2008, He
sorry.
came to he.
Sorry,
That's all right. He's with me. He came to me in a. Have you ever seen Ghost? Y'all probably have the
Yes.
movie Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my son came to me just like that, and ever since he has been with me. He warns me, and I have gotten into this so much. He really made me believe that they're really, that's how I really started getting out and doing this, is after he passed.
Mm.
Wow. And as long as you've been doing this, I guess I have to ask then, what is the, should I say the scariest case you've ever worked? I mean, have you ever, possession or brought something home or anything like that?
Yes.
Cat? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Well, definitely spill it.
I want to tell you something. That is not, I mean, this is some crazy
Boys and girls,
shit.
get your popcorn. We're going to go to the edge of our seats now. Welcome to the other side.
All right. I'm not going to talk much about that because that was something that I never, ever want to experience again. This is something you just don't want to deal with. It's, that's pretty much all I have to say on that. It's just, I will say this to everybody, though, that is listening. Don't go out there and try to, if you don't know what you're doing, don't go out there and do it because they will definitely taunt you and haunt you and try to hurt you.
Now that's
Yeah, that comes up occasionally on our shows. I mean, it seems like every show, isn't that right, Jerry? People say the same thing. We get people out there fiddling around with Ouija boards and hitting up these haunted houses, and they don't know what they're doing, but.
How they provoke conjuring, they're getting themselves into a world of trouble. They just don't realize it. It's kind of like play with fire, you get burnt. But and we've even had guests on that's actually played with fire, and I talk metaphorically speaking, but yet went back to it and kept doing it the same way until they really, really learned a hard lesson. And it was through probably illnesses, even actual injury. So a lot of people, again, we do cover this every show because we want to help people, be a blessing to let you understand the paranormal world is real. Everything we get on this show, every guest we get on this show, and every encounter they talk about is real. And it's nothing to play with at all. No. And anybody out there, beware.
Yeah. Because, I mean, yeah. And I have messed with a Ouija board, but I was in junior high when I did this. Mm-hmm. And, I didn't have any sense. I just thought, this is crap. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't get into it. So we just kind of had fun.
Don't have common sense. Let's think about it.
Yes, exactly. And but we, and nothing ever happened. So I'm thankful for that. And I've never touched one. Again, I will not touch another, Ouija board. That's just, me, on that.
Mm-hmm. Now, is that one of those moments, what would you do for a Klondike bar? Is that why you played with it?
Yes, exactly.
I've seen no commercials, and I've people play with this.
Oh, yeah.
What? I don't know. I was a double dog. I wanted that Klondike bar really bad. No, I'm just kidding. So what's the most, sorry, we do cut up on this show. Hopefully y'all put up with this, but what's the most intense investigation you've ever been on? We have an audience out there just itching to hear.
Oh, yes. Oh, goodness, yes. Me and some friends went to a cemetery one night. This was, don't get me to line, it was here in Texas. I don't remember the name of it, but we all went out there. And so as soon as I got out of the truck, this cemetery, I'll make it short. I won't make it real long, y'all. But anyway, the cemetery was all mowed down. In certain areas, it was not mowed down. So something kept pulling me over to the right. It kept wanting me to go over there. And I was telling my friend, I said, come and go with me. And he goes, hold on just a minute. And then all of a sudden, this, I can't explain this noise. It was weird as hell. Whatever noise went over us. Me and my friend, we saw this tombstone that had a fence around it. So me and him jumped in that fence there, and whatever that was, that part right there protected us. It was like a sacred ground where we were. And we was going, what in the hell is going on here? So that sound, that noise went over us. We got out of there, and I said, it's right over there. I said, do you see it? And he goes, oh, my God. We saw the biggest black form that kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And he says, let's get the hell out of here. And I said, yes, let's get the hell out of here. Because, I mean, this form, it was crazy, y'all. I mean, it really was. It was
this cemetery known to be haunted? Or is just...
we didn't know. I mean, we didn't do any type of, research or anything on it.
Right.
So me and him, we jumped in the truck immediately. And as we were backing out, this big, huge form was right in front of the truck. This was black. I mean, it was the biggest black form I'd ever seen in my life. As we were backing out, we went and picked up our other friends leaving the cemetery. And they said, hey, we've got a little kid talking on our recorder. We're talking to a little kid. And we're going, that is not a little kid. Get in the truck now.
Yeah,
they all, yeah.
Like that.
They jumped in, we left, and she turned her recorder on. And the creepiest laugh was in her recorder. And my friend stopped the truck. We both looked and we listened. I mean, that was the creepiest laugh you will ever hear. That was freaky as heck. So, and I'll say this too. When you go into cemeteries, you got to make sure that you are grounded and protected. Again, anything you do, it's some crazy shit. I mean, it really is. Excuse me for cussing, y'all. Is that okay?
We'll wash your mouth out with soap later, but we'll let it go this time. Wait a minute.
That'll work.
Smaller in the jar, right there. The potty mouth jar, okay?
Yes, that'll work. Wash my mouth out with soap. Yes.
Cash app it to us or something, but that's how we make our money. No, now how big was this thing? I mean, as far as structure, you said it was black. Was it like smoke? Was it mist? Was it a solid? And what was its stature? Yeah. How big was this thing?
It got up to almost 7 feet tall, and you couldn't see through it. It was pure black. I mean, this thing, yes. And the energy that you could feel with this thing, you knew definitely. I mean, you could feel that it was bad. Just the energy and it being there.
Definitely not a little kid then, huh? Yeah.
No, definitely not. No.
I wanted to ask you, when you do go on investigations, do you take regular equipment like a lot of paranormal investigators do? I mean, what is your, like when you went out to the cemetery or right now, if you got a call, what is your setup and going out there?
I just have a small little recorder, and that's it. Just a recorder and me.
Okay.
And, If I have to take pictures, I use my phone, and but it's usually just me.
Right. You know, basically just walk the house and, try to get some EVP on it and snap a picture if you need it. That's pretty much it. So yeah, that's a good story. Yeah, that would have freaked me out too. That's kind of weird. Anything else go on down there? Have you been busy lately with COVID or kind of stay in?
Yes. Pretty much for the past year. Yes, I've just been kind of chilling here, and then my when they do come to me, I deal with them, while I'm here at the house, because I do have a lot, that do come and they want help, or either I will have my loved ones come in and say hi and visit.
Gotcha.
But other than that, I'm going to start getting back out again, and I want to go on some more investigations again. So.
Debbie, real quick question from George. He wants to know if you do readings.
Sometimes I do, George. It all depends on. I don't do a lot of it, but I do sometimes. Sometimes I'll pick up on a lot of stuff. It just all depends on on spirit and my situation, at that time.
Now, do you have to be with the person? Is that best? Because I remember you telling me that you could look at a photo and pick up on stuff too. Okay, so you can.
Yes, I can talk to him on the phone. Yeah, no, that'll be fine. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me on my messenger on Facebook. It's Debbie Schreiner. It's SCHREINER. That's my last name. And you can contact me through Messenger.
But don't post on your timeline, correct?
Between 9 in the morning till 9 to 8. 9 in the morning till 8 at night. They can get a hold of me.
Okay, that's good enough. So a little bit in your description, tell us a little bit about your empathic abilities. You're saying you can feel, people you know or people you don't know, or tell me a little bit about that, how you got into that, or how that works.
It's just natural for me. It's just, it's just with my gift. For instance, my daughter has panic attacks, and I don't have panic attacks. So one morning, I was having a really, really bad panic attack, and I said, okay, no, this does not belong to me. It needs to be gone. So I release it and get rid of it, and then I called my daughter, and I said, are you okay? Mom, I'm just having a bad morning. I'm having a panic attack. And I said, I know. I feel you. And so anyway, and if somebody, say, downstairs from me is having a heart attack or whatever, I feel that. With the spirit, they will let me know their pain or what happened to them, and I will feel exactly how they passed, what happened to them, or they will let me feel it. They'll say, hey, feel it, feel my pain. And I have to pretty much protect myself from that, because that happens a lot, with the spirit. So,
I'm sorry to interrupt. It sounds like you're a sensitive too.
Yes, very much.
Okay.
Very much.
And discerning of spirits, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
So you say basically you operate in all the gifts of the spirit?
Yes. It's some crazy stuff. Crazy
well,
stuff,
I want
I
to get
tell
back to
you.
the graveyard real quick here, if you don't mind. 'Cause I like that eerie stuff. I'm sorry, guys. I'm guilty. But now you said that big black thing standing there. You guys wanted to haul H out of there. Uh, you ever had any other encounters like that? And what happened that night? Did the thing just disappear? Did it fade out? What happened? Where did it go?
We got the heck out of that place so quick that we didn't even look back. We didn't, all we know is, when we got in that truck and left and heard that laugh, we all said, oh, hell, man. He was right there. He made his way there to put that laugh in there. That's what we were feeling and thinking. But we don't know that for sure. But that laugh, oh my goodness. I'll never forget that.
I think that would have been a good opportunity to, get your team together, and maybe even in the daytime and go back out there, and be a little, get into it a little deeper, find out what it was.
Yeah.
I was going to say a reunion. I was going to say a reunion on Halloween. Go meet them again. Hey, guys, join me out there at the cemetery. We're going to have a reunion.
Hey, I'll give it to y'all. I'll give it to y'all. How's that? Y'all can go out there, okay?
Burleson ain't too far from me, but yeah, Brett, get you back to Texas and visit me. We might have to do a picture up that way.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff planned. I know. Yep, a lot of stuff planned. Real quick, Debbie. Another question from King. Do you think shadow people are evil?
Not all are evil.
Yeah.
Not all of them. No, not at all. Some are, yes, and some aren't.
Now, have you had encounters with them?
Yes, I have. And
do tell.
But I'm still learning, a lot with the shadow people. And I learn something every day, but I'm still doing how do you say that? I'm still learning a lot with this. Mm-hmm. And I know some of them are positive and some of them are demonic. And I'm still trying to figure out if now some of the spirits that I have run into, some of them are some of them, say for instance, what they did in their life, and then they pass away, and then they regret what they have done, or they did something really, really horrible, and some of them kind of hide themselves. And like I said, I'm just learning more. I'm learning. And I know there's going to be a lot more that I'm going to learn, and to make this more, to where I can explain more to everybody. But just some of the freaky stuff and the things that I see is crazy.
That's one thing about the paranormal we've talked about before. There are no experts. We're constantly learning, constantly reading, finding new stuff out every day, because I don't think anybody knows for sure. In the by the way, Wendy stopped by the chat room. She says hello. You're very sincere and real. So I want to thank you again for being on the show tonight.
Hi, Wendy. I love you, Wendy.
But some people think that shadow people are evil. Some don't. So yeah, it's nobody really knows 100%, I guess, for sure. It's It's
and we may not find out in this life. We may find out in our next life. You know what I'm saying? It's just you just don't know. Yeah.
What kind of run-ins have you had with shadow? As far as shadow people.
I visited Yorktown Memorial Hospital over in Yorktown, Texas, And there was, and we constantly saw this one shadow that kept going over by the chapel in the hospital there. And I felt a sadness with this shadow thing. It was more of a gray color. And it was a darker color, but it was not black. It was a grayish color. And we would all see it go by. And I was thinking, this is not an evil shadow. And then we saw a really big shadow down in the basement. Well, it wasn't in the basement with us. It was, if you looked out of the basement into the hallway, we all saw this shadow person in form going down the hall. And I was really surprised that some of the others saw it, but they did. This shadow thing made it to where everybody could see it. And it was a form of a man, a Hispanic man. I don't know. I've done a little bit of research, but not a lot on the hospital. And but it was a Hispanic man, but he was a shadow person. Okay, you can just say that. But the other one was totally different. That I also got sorrow with him too. That something, bad had happened to him. But like I said, I went and did a little bit of history. I didn't do a lot. When I was in the hospital, I kept getting Mary. And so I went and did a little bit of research, and there's supposedly, now don't get me wrong on this, I've read so much different other things. This was a Catholic church in the hospital, and it was Mother Mary June or Mother Mary blah, blah, so on, so on. And I said, that's why I kept getting Mary. Because, I kept hearing the name Mary. And I was going, okay, that's cool. But anyway, I hope that answered your question on the other shadow people. I don't want to keep it going too long for you,
Oh, you're fine. This whole hour is dedicated to you telling us anything you want to tell us. And what would you think would be your scariest ever encounter? Have you ever dealt with possessions? You ever been around anyone that's actually had that? Because I've been around that. Brett's been around it. It's a very eerie. It can get pretty intense. Have you ever had anything to that nature? Have you witnessed something like that?
Oh, goodness. Not, but just on my possession. And my daughter actually saw my face change to somebody else. And a lot of it, I don't remember. Some I do remember. And also, too, be careful. Everybody be careful with who you communicate with or who you deal with. With certain people, they can definitely mess you up. As far as, this is one of your best friends, but yet this friend can use his energy and he can do horrible things to other spirits and other people and causes the possessions. Have you ever heard that, Jerry?
Oh yeah. When you get around certain people, it's kind of like people put off a certain energy. Some is a very positive energy. It's like you see somebody's very charismatic. They have almost a magnetism about them. People in history like Elvis, Marilyn Monroe, they walk into a room and they just light the room up. That's just that type of personality. Michael Jackson had it. God knows how many other ones. But then you got some that when they walk in the room, you can just literally feel an eerie feeling. And again, that's discernment. And I'm an empath also. I can pick up on something that quick as somebody walks in the room and it's just pure negative or evil even. So yeah, I can definitely tell you that there's certain people you're going to come across your path. Some's to bless and some's to curse. Just be careful. I agree with you 100%. Brett, you know that for a fact. Ran into it not too long ago.
Yeah, I think you were talking about that on a post you made some time ago about, negative energy. Can people bring it around? Or I was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. But then again, there's good energy too. So,
exactly.
But what we were talking about earlier, you can be fooled. You may think it's good, but it doesn't always stay good until they lure you in.
Exactly.
I think that's where it starts. It's I don't know. That's what a lot of people use Ouija boards and things like that. I've heard that. It's always fun when they start it.
Oh, yes, exactly. Yeah. And then you go out there, and you do your, and saying something to everybody that is watching the show tonight, don't go into a place and don't taunt that spirit. You go in there like that is their home and let them welcome you in there. If you go in and taunt them, they're going to come home with you and they're going to raise hell with you. And another thing I want to say about this, how do you know it might even be one of your loved ones that is there and trying to get your attention? And I hope everybody thinks about this, because that is one thing is, your family is here. They're in spirit. They're with you. They're always looking out after you, even the angels and your guides. So I'm just asking, please don't go and do this.
I agree, and I don't know why people do, because not only, bringing it home with you, but, we're here to help people. We go into their homes, because they have issues, and, you go in there and start stirring up a hornet's nest, and then you're leaving. I don't know. But I just want to back up for 1 second, because we had a question. Debbie, what was the name of that hospital you said you went to?
It was Yorktown Memorial.
Okay, now I don't know. I've never been there, but somebody asked, did you run into any snakes there?
Snakes? No.
Okay.
Didn't.
That must be a Texas thing, because I was like, okay, I'll ask.
That's a rattlesnake thing, because we're in Texas. You run into them everywhere, believe me. Okay. We do rattlesnakes.
No rattlesnakes. No.
No. Well, hey, let me ask you something. As far as, I'm going to put this on topic, as far as like a rattlesnake. I mean, when people come over to your home, for instance, you just said something came in. Obviously, you said you weren't yourself for a little bit. It was actual possession. Was that transferring of spirits through somebody who came visited your house? Somebody, a friend or a foe or whatever, that actually came in and it was a transferring of spirits? Is that how you ended up in that shape?
I would talk with him. He was a medicine man. Okay. He was a Indian and a medicine man. So he would do this long distance. He would send them into my daughter's house. And before you knew it, I was pretty much, I lost myself. I didn't know what I was doing half the time. I had no idea. I would wake up maybe on the floor, rolled up in the floor in a ball. I would wake up and say, what the hell am I doing? What's wrong with me? Or I would end up finding myself crawling across the floor, and I would be going, what the hell am I doing? And, there was just some weird, I knew that I was not me, and like I said, I don't remember everything. I lost so much time that I think really.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Was it kind of like being on the inside looking out?
Yes,
Oh,
it was. Yes, it was creepy. It was weird. And my spirit saved me. I mean, my spirit really did, because I could feel my inside. I could feel me crying. I could feel me inside, but yet I could not feel me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had a case of a 14-year-old. It was many years ago, and I was in Florida, and this little 14-year-old, once we got him back, I mean, this thing screamed, kicked, drooled, threw up. Didn't spin the head. It wasn't nothing like Exorcist, but it was a lot like Exorcist, because the kid was talking in foreign languages. A lot of it was Latin, Arabic. I mean, 14 years old. They don't know Latin. They don't know Arabic, but it was multiple voices at the same time. You know, you're hearing a female voice come out of a little 14-year-old. You're hearing a man's voice come out of him. And once he got delivered, we turned around, and I got to sit down with this youngster, and he was just a very gentle-natured little boy. And I asked him, have you been messing with Ouija boards? Have you done anything to invite this in? And he said, no, sir. No, Jerry Dean, I didn't. Well, actually called me Mr. Dean. I thought, oh, that was cute.
Yeah.
No, Mr. Dean, I didn't. I said, okay, you can call Mr. Dean or Jerry, that's fine. But I said, so what happened? Well, he's got a little friend that likes to come over. Okay. And his little friend gets into stuff, and he's kind of mischievous. And what he was telling me, he does dabble in some crazy stuff, and he's 14, and that's where are the parents? But anyway, so apparently it was a transferring of spirits. This little boy was vulnerable, and this thing came in through another little boy. But if anybody out there listening, anything about attaching spirits or transferring spirits. Transferring spirits goes to attaching spirits. They're the same thing. It'll transfer over and then attach to another human being. Why? They find something more vulnerable. And once they cling to that, they can literally go in, and we've gone through the stages, they've got the depression, you got oppression, and you got possession. But it starts off with depression, and then it goes to obsession, because it's got you watching, and then it goes to oppression, then it goes to depression. For those of you listening, that's the 4 stages headed towards demonic possession. This little boy went through all 4, because I talked to his mom and dad pre-meeting. Well, after we got done, again, long story short, I asked him, I said, nothing happened except this little boy. I said, do you remember anything? He told me, I felt trapped. It was dark, but I was on the inside. It was almost like a dungeon looking out. I mean, this is a little boy at 14 describing like a dungeon, a pit, he said, that he was trapped in, and he was crying, and he was scared. He said, Mr. Dean, I couldn't get out. I could not get out.
Oh, God.
I could see my mommy. I could see my daddy. And as he was talking about it, he broke down and started shaking and crying again. I said, no, buddy. We're going to pray together. Okay. But yeah, I mean, good guys, possession is a real deal. And if you ever meet anybody, it's just like that. They're trapped. Okay.
Yeah.
They're trapped. Yeah. And you got to love them. You got to love them through it. They're not themselves, obviously. This thing took over probably 90% of his personality. He was on his way to full possession. Wicked evil.
Oh my God. Yeah, me, my daughter, when she saw me changing, she looked at me, and she grabbed the kids, and she left, because she goes, Mom, that ain't my mom. And her and the kids ran out. And, from that time to whenever, it was like I was there by myself. And where did the time go? What did I do? Did I even go to the bathroom? Did I even take a bath? Where did I go? That was how I lost so much time that I ended up going to a Catholic church. I put myself in my truck, and I went to a Catholic church. And I told him, I said, please help me. Please help me. And this lady, one of the ladies, she said, the pastor is not here. Sit down, Debbie, sit down. I told her my name. She told me to sit down. And she started saying her prayers, saying what she's saying. And the next thing I knew, what was coming out of my mouth, I was telling her to F herself. I was saying that over and over and over and over. And she was going, Debbie. She was going, Debbie, go do what you got to go do. You have something you've got to take care of.
Okay.
Bam, bam, just like that. I walked out of that church like I was a brand new spanking person. I mean, it was the craziest feeling ever, like nothing had ever happened to me. And I mean, what I did remember, oh yeah, it haunted me for a couple of months, 2 or 3 months. I just, on some of the stuff that I was catching myself doing, that I'm going, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
And, yeah. And my daughter, they stayed away. And, there's more to it, but I mean, I don't want to keep going. So
no, by all means, tell everybody. We're all listening. I'm intrigued. Brett, you with us? I know you're intrigued.
Yep, I'm here.
Go ahead, Debbie.
I called my sister and told my sister what was going on. And so she got my other sister, she got my mother. They got everybody over to the house over there. And they were going to get me out of the house and, get me away from there. And when they come to get me, none of them would even get close to me. They were saying, oh my God, look at her. And I was going, what? And one of my sisters took a picture of me, and I looked. It was definitely a male, and I looked 100 years old in this picture. And my mom was crying. They ended up, they said, Debbie, my brother-in-law, started praying and everything. He goes, Debbie, get in here. We're taking you to a hotel. So they got me out of the house, took me to a hotel, and I still had a small attachment to me, which was a little boy. And I know that he wasn't hurting me. I don't know if he was trying to help me or what he was trying to do. But this little boy stayed with me in the hotel, stayed attached to me. Okay, the next day, my daughter was saying, we're moving out of here, we're getting out of here. And I said, okay. So I went in. I had some, before I even went back into the house, I went around the corner. I called a Catholic priest to come into the house and to go in and bless it before me and my daughter ever even stepped another foot into that place. And so I stayed around the corner, and I saw the Catholic priest come out with, I don't know, there was another man with him. And they came up to the truck, and they were all laughing. They thought it was so funny. They were laughing. And they come up to the truck to me, and they said, ha ha. He goes, you're not friends with God. He goes, you need Jesus Christ. And I looked at this priest, and I said, do what? And
that
they
was
just
the
kind of
preacher.
laughed at me. Yes, they just kind of laughed at me.
Yeah.
Yes, they laughed at me. They thought it was so funny. After they went in, they said, there's nothing in that house, nothing in that house. So come back to the friend that I was telling you about, the medicine man. Okay, I got back in the house. It seemed all calm and everything was good. And I talked to him and I told him everything was good. And it wasn't even 2 or 3 minutes later, here comes that thing again. And needless to say, I got out of that house and never stepped back into that house again.
That's kind of what I was saying earlier. Well, I would think a priest knows what they're doing, which I'm sure they did. Why they did what they did, I don't know. But yeah, they have that power and go in there and somebody goes in, blesses the house, or so-called investigators go in there and start trampling around. Once they leave, boy, now you got somebody really ugly in there. You just stirred the hornet's nest.
Yeah, yep. And some of my friends said, "We'll come in, Debbie, and we'll investigate." And I said, "No, I already pretty much know what's going on here." You would see the footprints on the carpet, and whoever was running around upstairs, they were barefooted, and they would haunt and taunt my grandson in his bed. So my daughter finally she grabbed the kids and took them all downstairs because they were all up there messing with me. And so, like you said, Jerry, I started getting so depressed. I felt like I was worthless. I felt like I didn't have a life no more. And I was going through a mode that I was just giving up. I was giving up. So to all of you, please don't deal with the negative energies. Don't even deal with the spirits if you don't know what you're not doing, okay? Like I said, they are not good to mess with. And I mean, that's just something that you just don't want to deal with. You don't want to mess with.
Well, Debbie, a couple questions here. I didn't want to get too backed up in the chat, but in your area down there, a question from Terry wants to know what the best location is down there to investigate. If any. I mean, many.
The Baker's Hotel in Mineral Wells. If you walk around the place and the town itself, you will definitely, there is such an energy. There are so many spirits roaming around.
Any reason? You know the history of that area, or?
They made, now don't get me wrong on this, just a little bit of it. They used to make the crazy water in Mineral Wells. And so people would drink this, and they thought it was an antibiotic. They wouldn't there was a lot of murders in this little town. Just needless to say, if a doctor came into Mineral Wells and he was trying to give people antibiotics, the doctor would get deathly ill and have to move out of Mineral Wells. And they had the brothel there.
Now is that fact or more of an urban legend? Do you know?
No, this is fact.
Okay.
I did a ghost tour. Me and a friend of mine did a ghost tour with this lady, and she told us a lot about the town. And y'all can pull up. What did I just say? I'm getting tired, y'all. I'm sorry.
Mineral Springs? Mineral what?
Mineral Wells.
It's Mineral Wells. Baker Hotel.
Okay.
They're remodeling it right now. And there is also, what was this man's name? Brett, what was the man's name? Kevin?
Terry.
Okay. You can also check out the hospital in Mineral Wells. I haven't been there, but I've been hearing a lot on it. They do investigations in the hospital, and so, I mean, you may check it out.
Okay. And real quickly now, you mentioned, going back to the topic we were on a minute ago, Brett brought up another question from King about the negative energy in that. He wants to know if you clean locations, and if so, what would you use?
I use sage, and you use the power of spirit, Jesus, God, Archangel Michael, and if you have any type of spirit guide or spirit animals that will help you cleanse your house, they will go through and do it for you. And you have to put it out, and you have to put it out there. Yes. I have a wolf spirit animal, and I have a crow, and I have a black stallion that comes in, spirit animal, and then of course my son. But what you have to do is use your sage, put in the intention that you want it to get out of your house. You do not want it here. It is not welcome here. And you have to put it out there. You have to put your power out there to get it out of your house.
So take authority over it.
Yes. So it's your place.
Just like the Bible says, we have dominion over demons. We have dominions over pretty much everything.
Yes, definitely. Always keep yourself shielded, protected. Ground yourself. Ground yourself. Go hug a tree. Go walk out in nature in the grass. And, ground yourself.
Now, do you go into a house, when you go into a house or when you're helping somebody, before you go in, do you pray a protection prayer? And if you do, what is your protection prayer that you use?
I just use, yes, I do use a prayer, and I do bring in, I bring in Archangel Michael, because he's,
prayer Michael, yeah.
Yes, and I bring in all of my guides, and whoever's with me, my angels, the angels that are around. And, a lot of people may not, think that they will help you. They definitely help you. They are with you all the time, and a lot of people don't know this. And a lot of times when you think that you are alone and, just being lonely, you always have somebody there with you. It don't matter if it's God, Jesus, an angel, your guide. Somebody is always with you.
That's beautiful, because the Bible says entertaining angels unawares. That's why you want to be good to people.
Yeah.
God asks us to love our neighbor, but he also says for why you have done this, and when you did this, by what, bringing them food, or you help somebody out, give them money, give them a ride, give them a hug, give them a smile, said good morning. I don't know, but by doing this, you might have entertained angels unawares. I've always loved that scripture, because you never know who it is.
I know.
I've had encounters with angels. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Yes. Oh, they are beautiful. It is the most. Yeah. I mean, it's the most beautifulest feeling you will ever feel. With your angels. It's awesome.
Well, Debbie, I remember. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Brett. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, at the beginning of the show, you said you were nervous, and I said this hour would fly by. And guess what time it is? It is that time.
That time.
Yeah, right on the dot. So, Jerry.
You did it. It wasn't that bad after all, was it? Pretty easy. 2.9 million people heard your voice worldwide. That's pretty cool. You shake and shimmer off the radio. Good job. I thought it was a great show, Brett. What do you think?
What's that?
I thought it was a great show. She's a great guest.
Awesome show. Absolutely. It was a privilege to have you on tonight. But anyways, Debbie, I wanted to thank you for joining us tonight. Hopefully you got something out of it as well. And Jerry, you want to take us out?
Well, I'll take you out. Is that a knockout, or just to say goodnight and all that? Just kidding.
Say goodnight.
Well, I'll say goodnight, Gracie. Anyway, it's been a blast, sweetheart. We thank you for coming on the show, and we definitely will be having you back. And I think Brett and I might be giving you a holler here in the near future to talk to you, maybe even offer you a possibility of your own show, because I think you'd be great on the radio talking. Just all your knowledge would be a blessing to people. You could really, really help people out there. And if you want to enlighten people and educate people, that's what we do. You might just be getting a call here real soon, or you can let us know, and we might just go forward with. We'll talk to you about it. How about that? Meanwhile, ladies
Jerry, and Brett, thank y'all so much for letting me be on here. This is, it's awesome. Okay, it feels amazing. Definitely.
Sweetheart, I know I speak for Brett and me. It was our honor, our privilege, and again, we will have you back. Definitely, you're a great guest. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really did. Brett, you did too.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. But anyways, everyone, thanks for joining us tonight. We will see you same place, same time next Friday right here on the Paranormal King Network. Want to give a shout out to Debbie again and Jerry, and a special shout out to Ross at Paranormal King Network. Catch us next Friday night right here, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. This is Brett, and that's all I have. Jerry?
And I'm Jerry Dean, and we're going to be getting out of here right now. It is Friday night. Go out there, have fun, enjoy yourselves, be safe. Don't mess with demons. Always pray and always be on the watch. Look out for your heart, look out for your soul, look out for your loved ones. We will be back next week, like Brett said. Be there or be square. Spread the word. Subscribe to our network. We have For Real Encounters Networks. The show will be on there with all the other shows we've done, and there's some amazing shows on there. Go check us out if you don't mind. And comment, like, share it everywhere. We love you. God bless you. Until next week, we're out of here.
Good night.